I want to get right into it because this is disgusting. This is the government. You know what the saddest part about AOC is? That we may have to have her around until she's Nancy Pelosi's age, until she's 97,000 years old. And I did Google Nancy Pelosi's age. She is 97,000 before the fact checkers come in. I checked. She comes from a place deep in hell. I'm just kidding. But Nancy Pelosi, or not Nancy Pelosi, sorry, AOC had something to say about what happened with Tucker Carlson. And as you can see by her face, she's actually pretty goddamn happy, which is just ridiculous. And I'm going to play this for you right now. Let's go.
Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. What I will say, though, is while I'm very glad that the person that was arguably responsible for some of the largest, driving some of the most amounts of death threats and violent threats, not just to my office, but to plenty of people across the country, I also kind of feel like I'm like waiting for the cutscene at the end of a Marvel movie after all the credits have rolled. And then you see like the villain's like hand reemerge out to grip over like the end of a building or something. But deplatforming works and it is important. And there you go. Good things can happen. Tucker Carlson.
How amazing is that? That's someone that's in the government. That's someone who has power over people. Not all of Americans and everything like that, but she has power. And her feeling is that deplatforming works, right? And it's fun to just say that word, but what she means is censoring, silencing, discrediting, and completely removing somebody from the eyes of the public works and is a good thing. That's what you just saw there. Absolutely wild. And I'm so glad that after Tucker released this episode on Twitter, that he received 100 million views. I'm so glad that happened. And then somebody tweeted this. Did it work? And then circled this. Now it's at 100 million. This is when it was at 96 million. Did it work? In response to AOC gloating about somebody's downfall. And then somebody else tweeted this. The red-headed libertarian, if you don't follow her, you should. Tucker views 3 million, gets fired 6 weeks later. Tucker Twitter views 96 million. Yes, sir. Perfect. That's exactly how it should be. But honestly, again, this person is in power. And you know what's funny? She's like, he's responsible for the death threats that we receive. No, he's not. It's not him. It's the way that you do things that gets you those threats. And now I'm not condoning death threats at all. I think that's horrible that people feel so disenfranchised, so downtrodden that they think the best thing for them to do is to call into some office and try and scare people. I don't think that's right. I think that's a tactic that you see, governments use. I think that's a tactic you see, terrorist type use. Like that's it's not a tactic that you should use. But they feel like they have to. And believe you me, no one's like, I just watched Tucker and I gotta send a death threat now. That's not what's happening. They feel what you're doing, and that's why they do what they do. Again, not condoning it. I think it's terrible, but understand where it's coming from. To just be like how arrogant is that? That if anything bad happens, it has to be Tucker's fault or some Republican's fault. It couldn't possibly be me in the way I operate. It couldn't be possibly because of how I make the citizens of America feel. It can't possibly be that. It has to be Tucker. It has to be Tucker. It's obviously Tucker. He said my name. He said my name in a video. And that's why all this is happening. The only reason he says your name at all is because of how you operate. The only reason people react poorly to you is how you operate. Absolutely ridiculous. But again, just one more time. Why not? Tucker gets fired. Tucker views on Fox, 3 million. Tucker gets fired. 6 weeks later, Tucker's views on Twitter, 96 million. Did it work? I don't think it did. And I'm so glad that she just received that humble pie. She said that, look at that. She said that on April 25th. And just a few weeks, just into June, Tucker goes ahead and drops this bombshell on everybody. And she was so wrong. That quote unquote villain scene that she thought of, it actually did happen. Tucker reached up with a blue bird in his hand and came back. But again, this is somebody who's in the government. This is how they feel. This is how they feel. They really feel this way. That if they can just silence somebody, and it's very odd that she's taking so much joy in it, almost like she had something to do with it. Like, deplatforming works. Like, that's really weird. Really weird. Really makes you think about what could have possibly happened with Tucker behind the scenes. There was obviously more people talking about it than just the people who were at Fox. But yeah, again, this is how they feel. This is what they want. Anybody who's willing to bring you any type of truth, they want that person silenced. And however they have to go about it, they're willing to go about it. It's a scary thing. It's a scary thing. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Other than that, I'm out, guys. Like the video, share, please. It helps so much. If you've watched this far, like the video, give it a share. It helps tremendously. You're much appreciated if you do. And you're much appreciated if you don't, because you still watched until this point. And other than that, I am out.